My name is Lorenzo Murzilli. I'm the founder of Murzilli Consulting and the co-founder of Drone Talks. And today, this short video try to explain what's going to happen in Switzerland after the recent introduction from the Swiss FOCA of the European regulation 2019-947 and 2019-945. This regulation was introduced into the law starting the 1st of January 2023, although there is a long transition phase until 1st of September 2023, and therefore it will go fully into force only after 1st of September 2023. So what will change in Switzerland? It depends on who you are and what you are doing. So let's start easy with the drone pilots that only operate in Switzerland. That's not necessarily a good news for them in the sense that the pilot community will be certainly more regulated than it used to be until today. In general, pilots in the open category will have to do the A1, A3 training and potentially the A2 training, both practical and theoretical, if the operation so requires. In general, training will be more specialized and I would say more difficult. Obviously, in the eyes of the European regulator, this brings a safety benefit, and that's what justifies it. If you are a drone operator, I would say the situation depends on whether you are operating only in Switzerland or primarily in Switzerland, or if your operations span across Europe. If you're a Swiss-only operator, I think this regulation definitely introduces complication. Some of the operations that were possible before, let's say operating in the Swiss open category, will no longer be possible and will fall under the specific category. Now, European regulation is adopting more and more predefined risk assessment to kind of help operators into this specific category. So if one of the predefined risk assessment, present or future, apply to you, this could be a very significant simplification. However, if not, you are stuck with the full SORA, and obviously going from open category to full SORA is a transition that could potentially be even not justified for some smaller operators. So there is definitely a need for predefined risk assessment that cover operations of those operators. Now, clearly, if you are an operator that operates in the entire Europe, the regulation brings a significant advantage to you in the sense that all approvals or certificates, all what you can obtain here in Switzerland will be valid throughout Europe. And this fundamentally opens up the European market to you in a simplified way. In the past, some companies had to establish, subsidiaries directly in Europe to do that. Right now, with your Swiss company, you will be able to operate in Europe without any problem. This also will apply to the light unmanned operator certificate again that you will be able to obtain in Switzerland and then port throughout Europe. So significant advantages there if you are operating in the entire union. If you're a drone manufacturer, I think the regulation is a lot of good news in the sense that until now, all what you were doing here in Switzerland was kind of limited to Switzerland, and everything you wanted to do outside of Switzerland required specific permissions and approvals. Now, as a manufacturer in the European regulation, you will find yourself the possibility to obtain design verification from EASA or even type certification from EASA if so required. But if you focus only on design verification, like design verification would be a report issued by the agency that will attest the quality and the reliability of your drone, and that certificate will be valid again in entire Europe. Having a design verification report for your drone will be obviously simplifying approvals for all drone operators which are using that drone with significant advantages for your company. Secondly, you will be able to obtain obviously CE marking and CE marking class marking for your drone that is also valid throughout Europe and will again be required to operate in the open category and also to operate in the specific category as far as standard scenarios are concerned. So in general, I would say for manufacturers, there is a lot of good news with the adoption of the regulation, and manufacturer needs to gear up for that, start to plan their activities, plan their CE marking, plan their design verifications, and kind of forecast what kind of operations their drone is able to perform and how to best facilitate operators that are doing that. Of course, in terms of services, you will see possibilities for Swiss companies to become notified bodies and therefore perform this CE marking certification, although that's not necessarily required. Of course, you can do it throughout Europe without any problem. What is important is that in terms of standard scenarios, class markings, and all of that. The requirements will enter into force in end of December. So until then, it's still possible to operate in the open category without class markings. Also, what is important is that a lot of Swiss standard scenarios will not be, it's not going to be possible to issue them anymore. The ones that have been already issued are valid until end of 2025. But the new ones will have to be based on the European level. So a lot of changes, and I would say big pros or big cons depending on which category of stakeholder you are in the drone industry. Thank you very much for watching, and see you out there.